What addiction is seen as completely normal by society? Endless scrolling. Here in the UK, our drinking culture seems to have no issue with people always being in the pub or people needing a pint at work at lunchtime to get through the time. Only people who are homeless and your stereotypical junkie type seem to be ever labeled as alcoholics. Weirdly as well, some seem to celebrate alcoholism and show off how much they drink. Surprise, no one has said this, but lottery tickets. I have a friend who wastes at least a third of his income on scratch-offs and just gambling in general. I watched him clean off a scratcher for $100 just to go spend it all on more scratchers that only ended up winning $10, then complained about being broke and asked me for money, lol. Hustle culture and neglecting your sleep and social life. In order to hustle more, sufficient amounts of quality sleep are one of the most important things you can do to live a long and healthy life, as important as diet and exercise. And you need a social life, be in with friends, or playing games online etc. in order to keep your mental health good. Consumerism. It's such a weird thing how much this takes center stage for people at some point. I feel like once people earned money for some years, all they talk about is what they bought, how much it cost, and how much they think I thought it cost, just to tell me that they paid 20% less than what I expected. It's like the default way to occupy them once they are no longer at work, buying stuff, thinking about what stuff to buy, and talking about what they bought. Attention. Some can't see the truth that they are out there trying to compete against one another and can't understand why people don't like them, so they try harder. It's an endless loop because they will never be happy with what they have already. Life. It's so weird to me how some people will go do a thing, and when they are doing the thing they are spending the entire time taking photos of themselves or having their photos taken. And if they are not doing that, their heads down at their phone checking how many likes their previous photo got. I was gonna say coke, but okay, not crack. But coke is hugely accepted within pro sports, celebrities, rich people, so on and so forth. It's definitely frowned upon for the most part, but it's also not meth or crack. You'd be surprised at the amount of people who do it. People you'd never think of. It's a big secret a lot of the time, but it's extremely popular. Coke is everywhere. In America, living to work, 60+ hour work weeks, and never taking vacation out of a weird loyalty to a company that will lay you off without hesitation if the bottom line is at risk. Drinking and smoking are the obvious ones, but sugar is a hidden demon. I've been weaning myself off it for the last 2 months. My quality of life is night and day in comparison. Anger addiction. Certainly being outraged about social problems can result in effective social action. Being outraged feels more powerful and active than sadness or empathy. Try expressing thoughts and prayers, and take a look at the angry responses from people who associate anger with empowerment. Walking around in a constant state of outrage, even if it's justified about a certain thing, may eventually cause people to redirect their anger toward every minor irritant in their lives, because it has the illusion of control and power. Anger can also escalate into destructive behavior that is not effective in addressing whatever problem needs solving. Being angry all the time can't be good for mental, physical, or emotional health, or for the people who have to encounter the angry person. Excessive eating. It's not being body positive, it is being point blank unhealthy. People need to stop trying to normalize obesity. Religion. A girl I know can't have a conversation without quoting the Bible or talking about Jesus like he is an old friend of hers. I'm not religious, so I find it really annoying, but everyone else seems fine with it. Life in general. I'd do just about anything to keep on living. Gotcha addiction. Rather than trying to have useful conversations, a ton of people are just looking for ways to make other people wrong about stuff and to one-up them. Alcohol. Honestly, like yeah, it can get bad enough that people see it as a problem, but it is way later than it should be, and alcohol is so much a requirement for people to have fun that it's kind of sad. I know people who will not date people who don't drink. A friend of my wife's recently was sent a photo of her friend by her fiancé, who is a doctor, who was giving her fourth fluids at home because she was so dangerously drunk. It was done in a jokey manner. My wife and I were concerned, but we are so the minority with that group that it fell on deaf ears. Though, pretty inarguably. The latter is into the it's a serious problem kind of thing, but everyone's acceptance of alcohol just kind of makes it a fun little anecdote. Her brother passed out with his eyes open in a locked bathroom. They had to break the door down. I thought the kid was dead. Another fun anecdote. I'd think it was just that group, but I hear these fun stories from so many people. Righteous indignation. So much of our world has become addicted to the endorphin rush they get when they work up a fit of righteous indignation. They get to point their finger at that bad person and proclaim their own victimhood. It is not only acceptable, but even lauded. It happens on the small, individual scale, and on the large, even global scale. This addiction has become the single defining characteristic of modern political discourse. This addiction has torn apart families, ruined friendships, and if it continues unabated, will destroy democracy. Weed. Prepared for a barrage of downed votes, but it's true. I don't hate it. I still use it myself. Just not nearly as much as I used to in my early 20s, which was pretty much all day every day, when I was clearly addicted and in denial. INB4B at its not at event, which always cracks me up. You can become fully dependent on almost anything if you do it too frequently. Because our society prioritizes profits, things are meant to be addictive to sell. Sell so people buy. Sugar is worse than caffeine. Our food supply is inundated with packaged garbage, much of which is targeted to children. We can't get ads out of our face. Profit over people.